the towers of the cathedral, and we are going to see it again some meters farther, probably a best view of the cathedral, nearly the whole of the facade. A big white cross, can you see it? On the right hand side, on the extreme of the hill. And surrounded by walls, but in the 19th century most of the walls, towers, gates were destroyed to enlarge the streets. During the winter, January, February, a bit of December even, we have the snow all around today.
Por eso Jaén tiene mucho más influencia castellana que...
In the 13th century, and at that time, just in this same space, we have the most. And this king, I said to you, conquered the city of Jaén in the 13th century from Muslims. Okay? On both sides of the king, in Paris, we can see the four evangelists. In the 13th century, and at that time, just in this same space, we have the most, the main most of Jaén. And in this way, the goat didn't know how to read, thanks to this decoration. So we can see the organ up, which is original from the 18th century. Now we continue. Now we are going to visit now the oldest part in this cathedral, the sacristy, which is also considered the masterpiece by Van der Vera. So now we are in the sacristy. It's still used as the sacristy of this cathedral. The columns around, especially, if you look at the corners, you can see how at the corners we have an authentic forest of columns, evoking some places in the Alhambra as the Patio de los Leones, the Lion Court. The monstrance is this piece of art, I said to you, is brought in procession through the streets of the city on a silver car every year to commemorate the festivity of the Corpus Christi. This monstrance is made of silver and golden silver, of the Pietà, because they are crying. Yes. And this is absolutely unusual. The history of the balcony. The cloth was large. And first, the Veronica folded the cloth like this in three. Then she dried Jesus Christ's face. And suddenly, Jesus Christ's blood stamped on the cloth. When the Veronica opened the cloth completely, she got three images of Jesus Christ's face through the blood. This is Hammam is a bath in Arabic. And this was a public hammam from the beginning of the 11th century, under the historical period of Al-Andalus. And in the 16th century, at the end of the 16th century, a rich family, a noble family from Jaén, built his private residence on the hammam. So just here we have actually a palace from the Renaissance period, from the end of the Renaissance period. And at that time, in the 16th century, they filled with earth all the rooms we are going to visit now. So now we are really inside the hammam, built at the beginning of the 11th century, during the historical period of Al-Andalus. And this was a public hammam, the washing of the whole of the body. This was done here at least once a week. This hammam was for men and for women, but naturally they came into different times a day. This was filled with earth. So with the time, the earth, the humidity have made disappear the original paintings. But we have some remains. For instance, over there, and especially if you look at this room, you can perfectly see the remains all around of the original paintings. On the very hot floor, and they have the steam. This floor is original original one from the beginning of the 11th century, and we know that originally all of them were polychromatic. Over there, there is some of the remains of the original paintings. To the building of the palace, except the display cabinet over there with original materials from the Muslim period. Some coins from the period of Al-Andalus and the original oil lamps to light the interior of the hammam.
Eva, how many years took the restoration?
14 years. Built in Jaen was just here. Nowadays we have some remains of it. It was a mosque built in the 9th century, and today we have preserved the big tower, the remains of the minaret, and the inner patio, the shan or patio in the mosque.